So there's a squad of popular girls like on social media, you know, both Kifi, Saralanga, and all these rich popular girls on Insta. So apparently they were at a yacht somewhere, took a picture, doing what bad bitches do. You know what I'm saying? They posted on Instagram. That shit went wild. Kifi was out there looking like Megan Good, looking good as, you know what I'm saying? But then they got accused of not having dark-skinned girls on the pic. But like how can't you at the in the African continent not have a bad bitch that's dark-skinned?
It just so happens that there aren't any dark-skinned women in my circle of friends.
Yeah. So but it was a whole like thing of contention. Okay, you know, especially the girls that were speaking forward, saying, you know, it's deliberate exclusion of dark-skinned women.
Get the fuck out of here. Do you know who was on the yacht?
Yeah, we saw the girls on the yacht, bro. You know,
no, we saw the picture that they took.
Yes.
Do we know who else was on the yacht?
No, we don't know.
We don't know who else was on the yacht. So what's this deliberate exclusion that we're talking about? If we happen to all be light-skinned here, we go on a yacht cruise, you know, with our women or whatever, and we happen to take a picture as my gents and we all light-skinned.
Yeah.
Where's the exclusion there? So now we're supposed to take the yacht, quota. Go to the shore, find a dark-skinned motherfucker, put him on the fucking yacht, sail back out into the ocean, and then take a picture.
Yeah, there must be a quota.
Is that what they want to happen?
Yeah, there must be a quota.
There are places for that narrative. Right? There are places for color politics. That picture is not one.
It's not the place. Yeah, especially like genuine friendships, right? Yes. You know,
because these are genuine narrative. So they're putting a genuine narrative, genuine concerns,
misplaced.
Yeah, and they're imposing it on come on,
a place where it's misplaced.
Yeah. And Nandi Kipo, sorry, is it a people thing? Because I guess obviously there were questions. Obviously, depending on where you are, Bupilero, you know, like if I live in Sandton, my friends are gonna be from Sandton, right? It makes sense.
Generally,
yeah, generally. Proximity.
Now it's not like be accused of not having township friends.
Like you know what I'm saying? so wherever my proximity is, the people around me are gonna be that. You know?
That was so weird.
Yeah, so because Obana that's the picture.
I don't even know which one she is.
Yeah, that's the one at the back. On the right hand side, wearing white.
The way Des knows the picture. What's about the position?
I just saw the pig.
And some of them, they don't even look like they're black women anyway.
Yeah, no. There's only one white woman. I think.
There's a white girl here and an Indian chick, or she colored.
There's two that look Indian.
But this girl is dark though. The one that's on her knees.
Filter to make her look light.
Oh my God.
Bro, like you can't win, B. And now the way when I got it was a little hate, you know, especially from the girl that tweeted that. Nah, that bitch was hating, bro. Yeah.
No, maybe
it was a chick that posted, okay, oh y'all couldn't get some black friends, you know, and for me that sounded like hate. Just looking for a reason to hate.
But I don't know if I have the energy to dig into it, but maybe that's not even Kifi's fault, man. But people tend to gravitate to people that are more like them.
Yes,
you know, beautiful girls like to hang around with beautiful girls.
Yes,
beautiful girls or girls that subscribe to standard beauty standards will gravitate to women that fall within that same beauty standards, which is usually light, certain shaped nose, like white features, or you know, whatever, you know. And that speaks to a deeper other issue. But I don't think that you'd be able to deduce what you do from a picture that was taken on a yacht.
Yeah. Because if anything else is just speculation.
Or
anything else is just speculation.
Or the other thing is, which might be a more philosophically deeper way of looking at it, is to say, if you draw parallels between colorism, racism, patriarchy, right? you tend to find that people that are on the receiving end of that construct would misplace their rage. You get my point? So in other words, imagine I'm somebody that I was on the receiving end of colorism, wabo, where if at school Mbali squats in the yellow bones, because there were times when people were grouping themselves, like Mudisa is saying, that used to group themselves along the lines of what they know the benefits of
currency is.
Like really majita. There'll be a time when there'll be majita asking manang kaban banali dikoloi kaofela. And we know the benefits of that crew because banyana batho batla bona.
Yeah, clicking.
You know,
Yeah,
but there was a time when Rohola majita na group ka kiddy scheme sadi TV game.
Ska bon to da ka sida bo makilesi wa bang. Again ne ba apara like name brands. So niggas
and girls, well, not even just girls, just like even guys. You have those friends that you. I remember it was a subject of contention on the timeline where. Konja, what was that line? You don't align with my brand.
Yes, brand alignment.
brand alignment.
Yeah, brand alignment. So you'll have a friend, and this guy is like, you know, socioeconomically wise, is not at the same level as a lot of the friends that you choose to hang out with or go out in public with. But you're still friends with that nigga. But you never bring him along every time. You have to come and meet us
because it's not aligned. He does
not
align.
When they align anymore.
Every time you have to come and meet us, well, I'm gonna see you. But you see him very often, but you never bring him.
That's your nigga. That's your nigga.
Filter.
It's just the filter, the spaces you take him to.
Girls do that. Girls do the same,
and they do that a lot.
So my point is, if you look, because when I say when I was saying that it could be a legitimate concern, but that is misplaced. Like Mudisa is saying, there's a bigger fight politically to fight about colorism, maybe in a workspace or in beauty standards, in advertising and all those things, right? Because there, it's something that you are trying to reconstruct an entire industry. Beauty does not look like this. But in households, or if I say it may be triggering to you, but it's such a small thing in the bigger scheme of this construct for it to warrant the outrage that you are putting it out to make it to be.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, you can have a problem with, let's say, for example...
If anything, you are watering it down by doing that.
Exactly, because you are taking it to where it doesn't belong. That's why I was for example, the reason we cannot deal with racism structurally is because we tend to want to respond to the type of racism that is not systematic. Somebody just called Mudisa kafir. Because it's tangible. And then all of us, I want to go run and say, Mamang is cancelled. But when you look at it but if that energy that we sort of attach to every time somebody's called a kafir, and you're like, but racism is that where you work every day and you've never seen a black manager, right? But because the kafir word was never thrown around, it's difficult for us to galvanize in that space, which is where racism systematically oppresses people.
Yeah, and thrives.
So, for example, what I'm trying to say is that, linked to what Murisi is saying, yes, I can understand that there were people that we would feel like, even Lena's Liji. So think about social dynamics. If Harihola, honale this thing hearing girls meet boys, and then if I know the type of girls they organize in the batla batho ba jwang, ne, di batla motho nang le kare, di batla motho nang le eng, you know, hore hobe monate mo brand alignment. I'm also gonna look scheming saka to kitlele bat kitla le mang. So if we are girls and we know that almost always, whenever it was a thing, by the way, yellow bone parties. I remember Bokune, they used to be. You know what I mean? So if I'm those girls, and
only
I'm
light skin parties.
Yeah,
that shit.
And I feel like every time we go to these parties, these celebrities, ne,
it's only light skin girls.
Their aesthetic was yellow, big ass, or whatever. So I start then saying, actually, I know Rafitara, I will not have delivered. I have not delivered because I know what is wanted. So I then understand when Bali looks at a picture that looks like this, ne, it can be triggering. Hore, yeah, actually, but you know, people are now going out of their way to make sure that even along friendship lines, it looks like people are still applying colorism in choosing friends. But in as much as I understand, it's still not the right place
to govern your outrage.
Yes, about colorism.
Especially when it comes to
You
personal
have to-
choices of friends and whatnot. Even if vele hunona le colorism in it, like, that's not the place where
That's not the place where you can
we
infect
fight this shit.
the shit.
Yeah, no.
Because then that makes you look like a hater.
Yeah, you look like a damn fucking hater, bro.
You know?
Because I don't know tseba hore batho ba kopane because of A, and we can't speculate.
I mean, I also see like my Instagram. I'm sure you guys you would have seen this, where there'll be a scheme of ballers, and you're like scheming sabat bagafel. Everybody's balling,
Yeah.
and whether kima tender premiers or whether, but when you look at the statistics, it's just ballers. You know,
And-
all of them have a roadster.
And plus, like it's human socialism thing, bro.
Yeah.
You want to socialize with people
That look like you.
you,
that
that
move in the same
experience the same
cycles.
things as you do as well. You know what I'm saying? So banaba nene, kid rich girl, in fact, kid rich girl dating rich niggas, you know, flash, whatever. We just want to socialize, be people that understand this shit every year.
Yeah.
Right, what? And maybe we couldn't find a dark skinned girl that understands this shit. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we couldn't.
Maybe they weren't even looking for one.
Maybe they weren't even looking for one. Yeah.
But
Yeah, maybe they weren't even.
What do you guys think about the whole colorism thing, though? Besides that picture, you know, is that, I don't even know how to, or what question to ask, but what's to be done about it, basically?
I feel like colorism is a cousin of racism. Colorism is a cousin of racism, and I feel so. What I mean by that is that I feel like if you were to tackle racism, any actions that you do on racism will trickle down on colorism anyway.
I don't know.
Yeah. So
Perhaps.
yeah. Okay.
Because it speaks to that white is right type of thing. You know what
Because
I'm saying?
you see where
But I can dismantle racism or structural racism, but the standards of beauty can still remain.
Who governs the standards of beauty? Manga.
And the standards of beauty may or could have been or would have been a byproduct of racism,
yes.
right? But I can dismantle racism, or I can seek to dismantle racism, while the standards of beauty
Remain unchanged.
And now colorism comes from, even though it's a cousin of racism, and colorism speaks more to standards of beauty, which is also a byproduct of racism, but it now has a life of its own. It has a life of its own now.
Yeah.
Right. So I can give everybody equal opportunity,
Yeah.
but the yellow bone concept
Will not go away.
will not go away.
Because it's reached to a stage where people feel like it's a preference, like it's ingrained. You know what I'm saying?
They think think it's a preference.
Yeah, because and this is like years of fucking brainwashing and and getting
Conditioning,
and conditioning. You know what I'm saying? Because in fact, I just like yellow girls. I'm not racist. I'm not kind. That's what I prefer, bro.
But
Yeah, but
so-
you don't question what
So-
the messaging you've been getting,
And it
that
makes
puts
you
you
sound
there.
as if you're trying to force them onto darker
yeah,
colors.
yes.
Yeah.
my you see, so what you are saying is correct in a way. For me, racism has also extended itself to things that we think are preferences, and they are not preferences, simply because it was racism to paint beauty as light skin and slender for women. Because more Africa, we valued bigger women actually, right? So the European, when he came, he told us beauty is long hair, beauty is being slim. This thing of being size 30 plus, it's obese.
And actually, standards of beauty, even in the Western world, changed because in the days of the Marilyn Monroe's, standards of beauty were more on the plump side.
Yes.
It was more on the plump side. So the slim thing is something that's
You get in with the modeling.
Yeah.
And,
it's a 20th century, 21st century phenomenon.
Yeah. Right. So what ends up happening is that because of everything started with race. That's what I'm saying. Then colorism became a cousin. Well, because we then said if something is light, it's right. It's bright. It's right. You know. So our self-expression, like you were saying, I mean, there are some. The funny thing to me is that, have you realized how European women, they sexualize actually the dark men.
Mandingo. Mandingo.
Yeah, which is not necessarily a good thing, because they attribute that thing to like a more savage. Animalistic. Yeah.
But there's an African man who looks like you, who's light skinned. Right?
They want that animalistic thing. So it's not to say that she respects you as a human being. Yeah, she wants to experience.
Yeah.
And media plays.
She wants a gorilla from out the Equator Highlands.
And media plays.
That's what she,
Media plays a huge role in that, like,
and advertising.
Advertising, the videos that we see, music videos. If all you see are these types of women, like it conditions you over time. That's why that lady, Vogue, Anna Wintour or whatnot, but she's never had a black person on a cover. That's why everybody was doing those Vogue, Vogue whatever covers, whatever. Like when you have a publication that is upheld as this pedestal of Kibona that are always in touch on what's beautiful, what's trendy, whatever, and they've never had a black person, cover. Like it sends a message, bro. It sends a message.
And that's why now.
Go ahead.
That's why now actually, and that's in terms of colonialism or racism, that's actually what they've taken out of humanity. So, for example, have you seen revolutionaries or people that have championed black interests and then they'd marry a white woman?
Yeah.
Like Cesare Tsegama, his wife is white, and was it Malcolm X?
Malcolm X
had a white woman or whatever.
Used to fraternize with
or
a lot of
fraternize.
white
So,
fraternizing,
so see, sometimes, if I'm tabang and I say, generally speaking, and now this is a physical thing. It's not even I'm making a political statement. If there's a white woman, a black woman, a colored woman, I am always sexually turned on by the white woman.
It's deprivation.
I'm turned on most or light skin.
Because it's something that you don't have access to.
Yeah.
It could be that. But it's somebody else can make a political statement out of it, or you hate your own.
No, I don't hate my own. My own is free.
It's too accessible.
Yeah, my own is accessible. I can get my own very easily, right? But I'd also like to experience that other thing that seems to be reserved for men of a certain color or men of a certain stature.
Stature, yeah.
I want to have that too. So if I'm given a choice, I'm gonna pick that which I wouldn't normally get under usual circumstances.
Or when I get the money.
And that's where I'll pick a white, a colored, or Indian woman. Because I've had a black woman all my life. It's not because I hate her.
Yeah.
She's accessible.
Yes. But what I'm saying, then the narrative of a feminist agenda or a black woman agenda will say, you see, even when a black man becomes rich, they don't want a black woman. Because they don't explain it from how you're explaining it. They are using it as a politicking ticket. Whereas when I think you're explaining from a psychological point of view.
It could be both.
It could be both.
It could be both.
Some black men do use white women as a trophy. It's like a trophy. So as soon as I've made it.
Yeah, because the white woman or the straight-haired people have been made to look like these are people that belong to a certain
class of men.
And even before we even cross into racial lines, we do it even within our communities. Just by the type of women that rich powerful men
fraternize.
tend to pick.
Yes.
Yeah. Black women, that fall towards the more white standards of beauty.
Light skin,
You know, so
long
when
hair.
you say that when you get rich, you're gonna get yourself some bad
yellow
bitches or
bone,
whatever, that image or the template of a bad bitch,
Yep.
it's basically a
It's
white
white.
black woman.
Yeah, it's white. Bro.
Yeah, it's basically a white black chick. That's the bad bitch that you're getting when you're rich.
Yeah. And I can say,
Well, I don't know if it is or not, but
yeah, if it's a product of conditioning.
yeah,
ke
but I'm
masedi.
saying like you don't have to look far. You don't have to go to the white woman to see how, just because I picked a black woman that looks a certain way, she subscribes to
A white
a
Western
white Western
template.
standard of beauty. I was just able to get that in a black woman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The same way as that woman,
Which is what Bokifi Boo and Sarah Langa would represent.
Yeah.
the same way that that woman herself would know that with the kind of characteristics that I have, the man I should be begging should be having money and whatnot. Racially, that man is likely to be white. But I can still find Ngamla Budaki.
Yes, Zach. And also, not ignoring the fact that almost every woman is trying to subscribe to that standard of beauty.
Yes.
To the same standard of beauty that rich men tend
to
to,
go for.
prefer.
Yeah.
Everybody's gunning for that standard. Everybody wants that rich auntie, straight head, slick eyebrows.
There's a reason why those girls are particular influences. Because they embody that.
Because you also believe in that standard of beauty.
Yes.
Right? And within believing in that standard of beauty, you also recognize and appreciate what it can attract for you.
Exactly. Because tell us.
So we are all players in this game.
In
It's
the
just that
game.
sometimes, depending on the narrative, we tend to want to blame the women, and the women tend to want to blame
the men.
But we're all products of that same conditioning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because tell us who's the foremost prominent on a darker shade of skin and a plumber side of size influencer that comes to your mind now. Nothing. When you think influencer, that's exactly what comes up. That's the kind of look that comes up.
I can't think
Yeah,
of any.
and you can't look like that. You can't look like what those women look like and go fraternizing with regular dudes.
No.
And you know what's the
Because to
fun?
look like that, especially if you're not earning your own money, or whether you are or not, but you need a partner of the opposite sex that complements that standard of living.
Yes.
And it's usually not you and I.
Yes.
And you know what's funny to me then? What's so funny to me is that because the influencer bonality categories as well, there's beauty or makeup. So I can understand why you would have picked that one up. Bruh, you look at even chefs cooking, that even the influencer, the foremost influencer in cooking, still looks like the makeup one. But in my head, it's the auntie with the flap, bro. Ashapang stew, ne? But those women,
The mama arms, bro.
even in categories of culinary, they're not getting a shot.
Yeah.
We're still in across the.
Bruh, a white male. Like
Let me make an
Bonto.
example. Let me make another silly example. Silly example. Sports is such a man thing, ne?
Yeah.
Look at the top 4 female presenters in South Africa. Mutshidisi Mohono.
And are they fine?
Meaning actually branched off of that.
Yeah, but
Ka-
Minnie
ka-
was brought in
Yes, but
because she fit
but
that.
look at the sports presenters, bro.
Ke Carol,
Ke Carol, ke Minnie, Tato Moeng,
Tato Moeng.
Mutshidisi Mohono. There might be a 5th one.
What happened to that other one?
There was this ho no le mongwe wa Mosothunyana.
Yeah, that was coming up.
Mdiadi nasa to sport.
Man,
Pro.
Pro
Did
Mdiadi.
she start from sports? Nah, I'm not sure.
No, I'm not
no,
sure
no,
about Pro.
Sure.
No.
Yeah, yeah.
But-
But ke a mono buang.
Ho no le mongwe wa Mosothunyana. But my point is that
even
even in sports, something we think is rough, raggedy, and whatnot, you look at the women that are being given opportunities.
yeah,
It's women that still look like a category of makeup or, and I'm not saying they are not talented in what they are doing, but I'm just saying when
They
it
gotta
comes
be
to
fine,
when
bro.
we come when it comes to the look that is being presented
gotta be fine.
to South Africans, or for you to be somebody that has a face in the media, you gotta look a particular way, and that look cuts across all categories.
Yes, check. Oh, because have you seen what happens when kind of footballers retire, they go presenting, right? They're in the panels.
Yeah.
They sometimes even do presenting. Have you ever seen a Banyana all-star being a presenter?
No.
None. Because they're not attractive girls, bro.
Yeah.
Kada.
And let's tell the truth.
They're like butch lesbians, kada. You know what I'm saying? They like hard ass. They look like men. Some of them.
And even sound.
Yeah, and no shade. It's just like that's the body you need to play soccer.
But
you know, as a woman, you know.
And Des has mentioned something important, because now I am saying.
But none of these girls that play soccer, even those who played for national team, are presenting, bro.
That's exactly my point. That's exactly where I'm going. So I am saying, you now see what. Now, from a subject matter specialist, somebody who understands the nuance of sport, she is more likely to know and present content that will resonate with the people. Ne? But we are simply not choosing her to be on the front of the camera because she does not tick the box of the influencer westernized look.
They don't
and
look the
sound.
part.
She doesn't sound pretty. She doesn't look pretty.
Yeah.
But she's got the content. She's got the know-how.
She played it. She's got the
So
experience.
now that person is losing out on if almost all the soccer players become players and then become presenters.
Which
the same thing is not extended to Banyana.
It's not.
That's exactly the truth.
It's
because they don't tick
the pretty
the
box.
sound and the look.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the people sitting home with the subject matter knowledge of the content that's being presented.
Yeah. And that's true, bro. And that's just the nature of the game. You know what I'm saying? Like it's rough. It's just that Majiteng higher for you because you know Majiteng they don't look at the aesthetic.
Yeah.
You know, kind of luckily Huatu was a presenter and that nigga ugly as shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? This dark ass man. You know, as a presenter, you know, Bochon Batle. Is he ugly? Yeah. No. Umubi, that man. Umubi.
Because you are just as dark as him.
The
hell? That's my colorism coming to the fore.
Exactly.
Right? That's my colorism coming to the fore. Yes, but the point I was trying to make is that men are not subjected to that. You know what I'm saying? They're not, and that's why we see a lot of these men who used to play soccer are able to come and present. But it's like labas able to present.
And you know, when it comes to what Muriso was asking, what's to be done about colorism, or what statement do we have on it? So there's visual and audio presenting of concepts or ideas. Along the lines of colorism, the other nephew that comes is sound. How you sound. You know, the first thing is how you look when you enter the interview. If you're on the previous side, the people that are interviewing you, they're already setting things like, we don't grill a beautiful girl in an interview. We don't grill a beautiful girl. We don't grill her. Then if you actually also happen to have a Model C accent, even more.
Oh, you twang.
You sound nice. You
speak so
I'm
well.
now starting to imagine how you're gonna look in front of that client of mine. That's what I think of. I don't think of what skills you bring to the table. Because there's also people that are getting opportunities because of how they sound.
Yeah, how they speak.
Not what they know, how they sound.
Voice Tembagayo. Speak so well, that nigga, man. I can show you know, they come from a considered intellectual place, but he speaks well. And when he speaks, because the twang, man, the flow what I
It's always a funny thing when Model C kids make reference to twang. Like, I might do it too. But there are people that listen to you and say Des is twang.
Hey man, but he twangs better than I am.
It's just that Vusi's twang is corporate.
It's corporate,
It's corporate, but like somebody can listen to you and like, hi, it's like when somebody came up to you when you were home. What? These are twang.
Word.
But it's funny how even within the twang community,
there's levels.
We judge each other.
There's levels, bro.
Have you heard Tape speak, bro?
Yeah. That's fucking English, bro. Yes, twang, bro. Like hectic motherfucking twang. Yeah, no, it's yeah.
If you're gonna go to the West Xhosa saying situation is
And,
situation.
and then going back to what Ndisa is saying, I don't know how we dismantle it. It seems so ingrained. That project
you know,
was such a perfect project.
I recently bought bought my son a tablet. So he likes to browse YouTube and watch like these kiddies videos. And this is a trend that I realized within the first 2 days of me having gotten them this tablet. That all the cartoons that he watches or all the kiddie shows that he watches is white kids. And every time I try to steer him towards the black kids content, he'd be visibly annoyed.
Jesus.
He does not want it.
Jesus.
To the point that he cries sometimes when I try to. He does not want it. He wants the white kids. He wants where the white kids are playing around and laughing and doing all sorts of games.
Fucking hell.
But when I put on a black video
of black kids,
you know, and then I start to think like, what part do I play, or what I've played in that? You know, is it the fact that he's going to school with white kids?
Yeah.
Or is it the fact that the media that he consumes,
white.
and because I don't stay with him, I don't know what he consumes. How do you tell him my, you know, go on Twitter, and I'm like, that really concerned me.
Yeah.
In Hupota, who kilo about the trend are these not dolly, the black dolls.
Yeah, even with the doll.
Yeah, the first one that came was ugly though, right? So, how do you imagine?
Yeah, they don't look that
And when
good.
I say ugly, I mean Lena. I'm coming from a conditioning myself.
Yeah.
Because the straight nose as well. How about I told Ramana Matsu?
Yes, sir.
Also remember.
And but
you look at that
also,
and it's like,
but you look at that and you think, because you might, bro, we are all affected by this thing.
Yeah.
Because for you to even call that doll ugly is because you are judging it based on Western beauty standards.
And happy, remember, that whole thing about black magic and voodoo dolls, we associated libu boats. We associated libu wabo. So when I think there was a video where a child was then presented with both dolls. Abalaba mufaina.
It's funny, but it's sad, bro.
Yeah, so now you
and check, even while we were growing up, anything that is distinctively black or showed you're black, like your big nose, your darker
you think about
lips,
movies.
Yeah, your lips. We had jokes for that, bro. Like we would clown you for having distinctly African features. We would clown you. And your grandmother, you know what I'm saying? When I can quote when I play key. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro.
Kunta Kint,
my nigga, bro. Like if your hair was extra nappy, like it's you get clowned, but especially as a girl. Like if your hair was always extra nappy, like you know what I'm saying? It's wild, bro. It's wild how like we were conditioned to hate our own features. Like what really makes us. I'm finna get that white ass project is perfect, bro. Them niggas did a number on us, bro. And back to your question.
And some of it might not even have been intentional.
Yeah. And get that like dismantling it as you asked at the beginning of this chat, it's gonna be so fucking hard, bro. It's gonna be so fucking hard because like it's re-internalize it.